Well, here we go. We got the prototype pieces back from the laser cutter. So this is for the grinder. So let's see if we can just do a little flyover here, if mainly just for the other two guys involved, so they can get a good look at it. One of them's on the East Coast. Oh, battery's gonna die. Well, I got the parts back from the laser cutter. These are the prototype parts for the grinder, belt grinder. And we'll just do a little flyover here. The GSM logo, may or may not keep that. We'll see. It you can see it's just a little rough. Maybe what I'll do is just simply make it bigger, and that'll make it easier and that kind of thing. So so we'll see on that. We'll get some feedback from the other two guys involved. So there's the base plate. This is the main body plate that sits on there. Here's the two gussets, and I left this one upside down, one because that's the way it goes, but this gives you an idea what the backside looks like. And I think that's the bottom side, because it cuts over a water table, and I think that's where all the rust and everything comes from, is the steam vapor and stuff like that coming back up. I'm not positive on that, because you know the heat edge, I'll have to look it up or ask them. With the heat edge up here, I would think that where it went in would be hotter, but I don't know. Anyway, this has got the mounting holes for the box already, for the switch. Don't know if that's going to work out, but if anything, it gives mounting holes for another plate to adapt it to whatever you want. So this is part of the platen assembly here. There's the arm, the platen itself, and the gusset and the spacers. Here's the tension release lever. There's the tool rest arm. More parts to the tool rest, and then the tension assembly, and that's the little tension adjust for the spring. There's the tool rest plate. So I'm going to set up the camera stationary and start playing with a few of these things. Well, let's see if I can still stay in fairly tight and so you can see the detail, but not be too tight that I keep wandering out of the picture. Okay, so all these features that you see here, like that one, I think that one needs to get cleaned up a little bit. It's got some crap on the bottom, on the back side there, and that's got to be the back side with the way that is. But anyway, the way it's designed is so that the nut just goes right in there like that. Okay, and so when you go to bolt it together, okay, that fits in there, and that's actually, I've got that pretty darn close. I like that. So the nut goes in, bolt goes in. Now I got a feeling these bolts are they're nylon. They're lock nuts. They're squished lock nuts, but I think you get the idea there. If you look at it, let's just put the other one in. If you can see that, I don't know, can you? Let's see if it'll focus it when I bring it in here. Alright, if you notice, see, that's recessed below the surface. Okay, I did that so that when the bolt tightens down, you know, it will pull. There'll be some clamping space there. They won't just line up together and it won't pull. So, and the way that is, so you can't turn the nut. The nut locks in there and that stuff. So that should pull down against those. And I'm gonna have to get some hardware in hand here. I forgot those were. I might just have to find some regular nuts and see if they grab enough to play with this today. So, and then also this slot here, this arm, this bushing's the wrong size. It's too long. It's the correct diameter though. That goes in there, and then there's a clamping bolt, and so then the arm will be able to slide in and out, and then you'll be able to tighten it down and clamp it down. So it'll wear out the bushing instead of the threads grinded on there. But let's stack the puzzle pieces together here and see see what it looks like. If I can. Oh, that's upside down. Oh, cool. This way we get the pretty side up too. Alright, so that goes in like that, then the bolts will go in there. Oh, that is the right length. I just need a better just need a better flange nut. And what I can do is I may just take those and just re-tap them and recut them. And if I remember right, this gets offset to this side. Oh, it looks like there's a... Oh, there we go. Just fits. These holes are too small because they're supposed to be countersinks on the other side, so that way they'll be flush. Okay, and when I did these, I did keep them flush. So just take a tiny bit of filing or touch-up grinding, and then it should be really nice and smooth behind the sanding belt. So. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, that's just too friggin' cool. That's all there is to it. I'm pretty happy with that. And I'll tell you what, man, this stuff is heavy. Holy shit. So let me play with a couple more pieces. Alright, went into the nuts and bolts drawers there, and I think it'll work. Let's see if the washer... Oh yeah, it even clears with the washer. Now, the flange bolt's a little bit smaller diameter. So I have this designed pretty tight so that it doesn't... The flange bolt does not hit the radius on either side. Okay, but the washer will. The nut, though, without the flange or a washer, hits there well enough to hold. So let's just slap it together. And a lot of these nuts aren't the right length. Bolts aren't the right length and that stuff either. So we're not looking to put it together permanent-like. Just kind of snug this stuff together just to get an idea how solid it's going to be. May not take much more. I may go get the power tools. Start and for anybody out there that watches this and thinks, "Oh my God, man, that's cool," and shit like that, let me tell you, man, it's 10 times cooler when it's your design. You did all the CAD work, everything like that, you know. Man, and that's, oh my God, that is going to be so friggin' rigid. Yeah. All right, there's one together. Let's see if I got enough nuts and bolts for some others. All right, I clamped the base to the bench like that because I don't have the feet for it to hold it up. And since the bolts come up from underneath, the heads are going to be there, and so plus two, I didn't want to try to put this thing at an angle. Now this is the very first time these two pieces have gotten mated together, so if you don't see this, it's because it didn't work. If you see it, friggin' worked the way it was supposed to. Oh my friggin' God, that's so cool. Okay, there is a slight bow in this. And there's a slight bow in this. This one being bowed this way, I don't care. That's fine. This one being bowed sideways, I don't know if that's going to be an issue until it comes to we get it all together and put it in and start tracking it. So, anyway, let's let's throw some bolts in here. And I may only put 2 in because I really only kind of want to hold it well enough to get it upright and everything. Because I still have some other things I want to try to attach, and I'm not sure I've got enough bolts. Holy crap, man! That thing's solid already. I've only got 1 friggin' bolt in it. Alright, put the end one in here. That was a hair on the short side because of the bow, and that may have just simply been a shorter bolt. I don't know. Oh my God, man, that is just friggin', that is so friggin' awesome. Oh, jeez. Okay, let's put the gussets in, and I'll just leave the camera there for right now, because it's too rigid. I can't get enough flex to get the gussets in, and I didn't think about them being keyed so tight that they needed the body to move there. All right. You know, seriously, we could probably just get rid of the darn gussets. Not gonna, but probably could. I mean, yeah, still a slight recess. That means it's clamping nice and tight. And part of the goal here, originally, this whole flat plate idea is Dave Carter's idea. And, you know, it's evolved from there, basically. Took that idea, that concept and whatever, and put a ton of time into making it a reality. And we've come up with, we've had to brainstorm a bit and stuff like that together over the time. But, oh man, that's awesome. Anyway, we'd always been concerned how rigid it was going to be in that stuff with just the flat plate. And then we'd pull out a piece of 3/8 and we'd try to flex it, and we'd go, oh man, that's not going to be an issue. This thing's stout. So, I had built the other grinder, and Dave wanted to build one, and he came up with this idea for the flat plate. And originally we thought, oh, we're going to have some welding, do some welding or whatever, but we opted, in the end there, I came up with another way to do it to make it bolt together, and we decided that even if it meant a little bit more on the manufacturing end, that it would still be better to be bolt together. So it is completely bolt together. Oh. Hear that? That sounds like one friggin' piece of steel and one heavy. Oh, you know what? It's not 50 pounds. So let's see how much it weighs. At least I don't think it's 50 pounds. Oh, geez, Louise. Getting too old for this shit. We're too weak. Oh. Yeah, I'm definitely getting weak. It's 40 pounds. So those 4 pieces together is almost exactly 40 pounds. 40 pounds, 5 ounces. Yeah, with the rest of the tooling on and that stuff, it's gonna be 50 pounds easy. Man, that thing's rock solid. Ah, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, see if we can show this just without having all the right hardware and everything like that. I cut these little, they're 1/2-inch tubing. They fit a 3/8 bolt inside pretty nicely, and I had these slots done so that the tubing, you know, 1/2 inch would go in there. So I've cut a few of those. Cut 4 of them basically. There's 2 on this side of the bolt, and there's 2 on the other side. Now these will be flange bolts later with proper length spacers, but I don't have these drilled and tapped for the lockdown bolt, so I need to be able to clamp these down. So I made them a little on the short side. So that'll just go in there like that. Now this is the tool rest, and it'll you know, it'll go in on the back side there and extend all the way out to there. So I think right about there is where it needs to go. And let's just oh, it's not a flange, so I really should put a washer on that. This side won't be quite as critical because I'm not turning it. It's just it was going in and out of the 1/2-inch slot. So, and this hole came out a little small, so I had to tap the bolt in with a hammer. I'll probably have to. Whoops. I'll have to drill that out. So I'll have to double check and make sure that that's. Find out whether or not that is a issue with the CAD drawing or the laser cutter. So that one's already too tight there. So that's snug down. That's tight. Oh man, this thing is just so freaking rigid. And I was worried about, I don't know, can you see all that? Yeah, I was worried about the tool rest weight and everything like that being out here when you do the fish mouth. You know, how much could that really take? And so let's completely block the camera there for a minute. That's got those bolts underneath. So it's probably not going to like that too much. Oh yeah. So there's, yeah, I can feel a little flex back there from the fingers opening up on the piece. I could get rid of some of that just simply by thickening that piece up here. So I may do that. I may go ahead and do that. Yeah, well, because it's, let me see if it bends back. I might have bent it. Yeah, I think I might have put a small bend in it there. So I'll definitely want to, I'll check that out. I'll find out where it bent, and then I'll thicken it accordingly. You know, good chance it just bent right down in here. So I can easily change that up and thicken that metal. And that was a concern. Now that I've seen the prototype, I'm glad I didn't have you know, a dozen of them done like that. So I'll fix that part. That's part of the reason I need to finish going through doing the rest of the correct hardware and everything like that and testing all this stuff, because I still got these parts, you know, to be able to put on here. I don't have the spacers for those. I wonder if I might have bolts that'll go through there. Let me go find out. I don't know if I'll be able to fake this well enough with what I have on hand for what I'd like to play with. But anyway, this little piece here, this is an adjuster that allows you to go up and down there. So spring fits there easy enough, and this was that was a fun thing to factor too, was and that went on there beautifully. Man, love it. Okay, so let's let's just pick a hole here, because I don't have the belt or anything like that. So, and I'm going to put that in. It's way too long, which, oh, I don't have the, that's what that other spacer was for. So I need another spacer. But anyway, let's wow. Alright, so this is just very loosely stuck together. I don't have a spacer in here, so I can't tighten that up, and it wobbles. This has a spacer in it, so a lot less wobble, but I've got a really long bolt in there, and no spacer on the backside. But I did get the spring in, and I don't know if that's on the correct adjustment. I'd have to look at my pictures again, but there's really hardly any drag and binding. And once I get the spacers in and everything's bolted down correctly, you know, that'll work a buttload better. So this arm goes in here and sits like that, so that instead of having to push down on the belt, you can just pull down on the arm. I didn't think about the fact that it might spring up over the top. Might have to play with that, but yeah, that makes it where you can easily go all the way down. It fucking works. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta go pick up my kid.